season long, we've been following the Oklahoma pecan crop, and today we are here to see how that pecan goes from the tree to our store shelves. As we enter the holiday season, I know a lot of people are going to be looking for pecans. And joining me today is Jared Miller with Miller Pecan Company. Jared, thanks so much for having us today.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, so we're here up in Afton,
Yes.
at your storefront, but you guys have a lot of product that you sell. Tell us a little bit about how those pecans get from the tree to you guys.
So we have relationships with growers and everything, and we'll go out to the growers and purchase the pecans there and bring them into here, and that's where the real process starts of trying to get them put into the bag.
And so they come in these giant super sacks, right?
Yes, yes. So when we bring the super sacks in, the first thing we'll do, we'll size them. We'll size them down to a 1/16 of an inch diameter so we can get the optimal crack. We're trying to make as many halves as we can because halves are sought after more than pieces. Once we size them, they'll go to a sanitizer to kill any kind of bacteria, E. coli, anything.
And so that's just a large vat that they get dipped in?
Yeah, it's just a large hot water bin, and we submerge them down in there for a period of time to make sure everything is killed.
Okay.
And when we bring them out of there, they'll go straight to the crackers and start the cracking process.
Well, I know a lot of times pecans have to be dried down. So let's talk a little bit about the moisture and if you're dripping them in water, how does that affect that?
So when we do submerge them in the water, that will increase the moisture, which we want to increase it a little bit to crack them to try to get more halves. And afterwards, before they go to the inspection room for final inspection, we have to dry them on down and get them down to 4% so they don't mold in a box or a bag or on a shelf.
Okay. All right. So then it's off to cracking. Tell me a little bit about what that process is.
So the cracking is really cool machines. They run off air and electricity both. And the air is actually what cracks the pecans.
Oh.
And when the pecans get to a certain rotation in the machine, a little big burst of air will hit a little metal pocket and just crack the pecan.
Okay. And so the whole point is to just crack the shell, not the actual nut,
Yes.
right? You want a largest nut as possible.
We want to set those crackers just right.
Okay, all right. So it kind of will divide all of those pieces up then?
After they go through the crackers, they'll go up through a sheller, and it's a round turret that's beating the shell off the halves. And then they drop down into a sizer, which will size them into all different size pieces and halves.
Okay. And in that process, what's happening to all the shells? How do they get out of there?
The shells are getting sucked away by air a little bit at each stage. And then we get the remainder of the shells with eye machines using infrared technology. And finally, they'll go across an inspection table, and still today, a human eye still looks at all of them before they go in the box.
And I know even some of those processes, you still have a little bit of shell, so it keeps getting finer and finer tuned, right?
Yes. We just try to get a little shell out at each step. Otherwise, if you try to take too much shell, then you're going to be wasting a lot of your good nut meat.
Right. And even some of the pieces that might have a little bad, do you try to get as much good off of that as possible?
We do. We try to recoup everything we can.
Okay.
I mean, you can't get everything. You still have mill loss,
right.
but you try to get it all.
But that's how you go from a whole half to some of these pieces,
yes.
right? Which are still tasty as ever.
Yes.
So, okay. Well, thank you so much. And basically then at that point they go into packaging?
Yes, we'll either package in 1 pound bags in ours. We package in other, clear bags for other people. Our main is 30-pound cases. We sell from 1 pound to 1 semi-load at a time.
So tell us a little bit about your distribution. I mean, you're not just selling to locals here in Afton, right?
No, probably 98, 99% of everything we do is wholesale. We're supplying a lot of big confectionaries and other retailers and stuff and grocery stores.
Well, thank you so much for sharing this process. And if anybody's not near Afton, make sure you check your grocery store for some Miller Pecan. Thank you, Jared.
Well, thank you for coming.
We hope you enjoyed this video as part of our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. You can also find even more videos on the OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.